Hello again and welcome back everybody to another edition of the Rural Report. I am your Realtor YC, and today we're going to continue our daily headlines report. And there's just a few things that I want to touch base and kind of go over with everybody, so we'll just jump right into this one. First things first, tonight is the college football playoffs, which I'm sure every single one of you are excited for. But I did make the prediction that Michigan will win the game. So tonight, I'm going to put on my Michigan hat and hope that I can come on tomorrow and say I'm at least 1 for 10. So we'll see. I'm sure a lot of you will go straight to the comments in this video or tomorrow's video and let me know if I was right or wrong. All right, again, in no particular order. So, Iran announces the arrest of 32 people who they believe are in connection with the attack carried out in Kerman. Now, if you don't remember, we touched on this when this happened. This was the suspected 2 suicide suitcase bombers that were in the ceremony for Soleimani. There's a lot of injuries, a lot of death out of that. Apparently, through ongoing interrogation and investigation, they have found 32 people that were in connection with it, as well as reported 16 additional explosive devices that were also found and disarmed. So this looks like this could have been a heck of a lot bigger of a problem for them than it already was. So if this all turns out to be true, which again, we're just subjected to the information that we're given. So there was only 2. Imagine if 16 more went off, on how much devastation and everything that would have caused. So next, the U.S. military base in Al-Amar was attacked with over 30 missiles. Afterwards, there was confirmation, sadly, of casualties among the American soldiers. The U.S. did respond with a small air strike. So I guess, the U.S. at least responded. Hopefully there's a lot more to come. I'm not a real big fan of the tit for tat, but I never want to see American soldiers, paying the ultimate price. We'll put it that way. Next, today officially kicks off the massive German protest, where thousands of tractors, vehicles, and truckers effectively blocked off major intersections and highways all throughout. This will be all over everything. If you can't find something on this, then you're not looking. It is on every major, minor, underground social media there is. You can watch all sorts of pictures, videos. People are live streaming. This is pretty big. Now, the big thing is now there is rumor that the railroad out there is going to join in on the strike this Wednesday. So another one that we're going to have to sit on our hands and wait and see if it turns out to be true. That'll be even more of a massive strike and protest than it already is, and it's pretty big now. So we won't have to wait too long to see if that turns out to be true. Next, I saw somebody put out a report, and this is them showing the week-over-week price increase per container for shipping. Now, just to give you a couple of examples, to ship 1 container of goods or products from China to the west coast of the United States, the increase is about 60% per container. Now, that same container from China to the East Coast is slightly lower at 58% increase. What is a little bit more of an alarming number is China to North Europe is 178% increase per container. China to Southern Europe is 115% increase, but Europe to South America is only a 25% increase. Now, this is just the beginning. I don't see any sort of a slowdown or resolution to this shipping crisis anywhere in the near future. So, especially some of this is China to North Europe at 100 and almost 80%. And it almost looks like if it's not going to stagnate and at least stay the same, it looks like it's going to get worse. Imagine the price increases a month from now, 3 months from now, God forbid. So it's something that we probably should definitely keep an eye on as these continue to rise. The cost is going to rise. The availability of product is going to get harder to find. There's a lot. This is a major, major thing to keep an eye on. It's nothing to panic over, but it's something to prepare for. Next is there's a pretty big cyber attack that hit Bangladesh, and it hit their elections of all things. Bangladesh is accusing hackers from Ukraine and Germany in this, and the way that this went down was Bangladesh was running their elections through an app. And so apparently these hackers were getting into this app, causing major slowdowns and kind of wreaking havoc in there. And people were reporting all sorts of problems, it being down, it being extremely slow. And then that's when they stumbled upon that there was a pretty big cyber breach. So pay attention to that one. That very well could play out this November of everybody voting by app. So we'll see. I did have somebody ask me through an email, and they asked me. They said, do you go down any of the rabbit holes or any of that stuff? And I told him, I said, yeah, I venture down a couple here and there, just because one, it's good to see what everybody's kind of getting into, what people are talking about, all the different things like that. But sometimes I like to treat it as a game. I like to connect the dots. It's like, and if you believe in whatever it is you believe, I'm not trying to step on your toes. But it's kind of like a Loch Ness monster, or is there aliens or anything like that? It's nice to start from here and just try and connect some dots and see how far you can go. They asked me what I was currently working on, and the one that I am currently working on, for those of you that are interested, is a gentleman by the name of Nathan Wolf. Now, he is a virologist and one of the founders of Metabiota. And if you don't know who that is, there's a good rabbit hole for you to go down. But I just kind of recently stumbled on that he was a consultant for the 2011 film Contagion. Now, what's interesting about that is if you've seen that movie, then you probably already know. If you haven't, that is a film about a disease that came out of a Chinese wet market, spread rapidly, and killed a bunch of people all around the world. Okay, so I just like connecting the dots. Probably nothing there. All right, let's move into the homeland and then wrap this up. So, a mob of over 100 protesters crashed a stolen Kia into a small bakery in downtown Compton, California, before flooding inside and ransacking and looting the place of all places. So I guess they were out of Nikes and everything else, so they decided cupcakes were next on the menu. So sure. Next, Chairman Comer has released the resolution for Hunter Biden to be found in contempt of Congress. I'll probably get smacked just for those words coming out of my mouth, so I won't probably expand on that. But data point, even if you're for him, against him, you don't care, it could lead to something that, affects different things. So I just want to put that as a data point. And let's wrap this up with this final report that there was about 10 people-ish that may have been injured in a massive gas explosion in a hotel in Fort Worth, Texas. I know at least a couple of you are in Texas. For me, that news just kind of trickled in my direction, so I don't have a whole lot on it. I'm sure those of you in Texas can, maybe post some links or get with me so I can share it. But it looks like it was just a hotel. There was a gas explosion, gas leak, explosion happened. From the pictures that I saw, it looked pretty destructive. But again, it's one of those ones. It's less than 24 hours old, so we're just going to have to kind of sit back and wait and see what kind of comes of it. So there you have it. All right, so we are at the end. Um, so we had a fun full weekend where we did all three of days of Friday, Saturday, Sunday of doing back to back to back interviews. So if you have not seen that, I would encourage you to go back and check those out. Those were really amazing, great videos. I loved everybody and sharing and all that. And we'll be happy to try and get some of them back on because uh, everybody's just so full of knowledge, and an hour is not enough time to get all the questions asked and things like that. So yeah, go back and check those guys out. Go give them a like, follow, share, all that stuff. They all put out great content. That's why I brought them on. Um, and then I want to remind you that this Wednesday we will do our workshop Wednesday, and so that's our live stream 1 hour Q&A where it's just like-minded preppers, homesteaders, uh, all the bushcraft. Everybody just kind of comes and hangs out, and it's just a good time. So if you haven't joined in one of those, I encourage you to join. It is this Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and adjust accordingly to your time zone. I've had a few people that were coming back and catching the replay because they didn't adjust or they showed up an hour early and there was nobody there. So please adjust for it. All right, so if you made it this far in the video, guess what? You rock. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for spending a little bit of your Monday with me. We made it through the weekend. We're getting through into January, so you guys make sure you keep your head on the swivel, stay safe, keep prepping on with everything that you do. I love each and every one of you guys. God bless every one of you out there. I will be watching some football here for the first time in a long time, just to see if I'm right. But all right, guys, stay tuned. More information to come. Say it with me now. Above everything else, remember to remain united because we're all prepping in this together.